Hello, everybody, and welcome to another edition of the Archeryshack Shop Talk. I'm Jeremy.
I'm TJ.
Number 47 here, folks.
Yep.
Coming up on a year. Got some cool things coming up. Thank you for tuning in. If it's your first time here, click the old like and subscribe button. Turn the notification bell on. And we try to put out a couple videos a week. So, appreciate y'all watching.
Yep.
Speaking of a year, it's hard to believe we've almost done this for a year.
Yep.
But we got a big giveaway that's going to happen on August 22nd. We're going to go live that night. That's a Saturday night on YouTube. And as of now, we got 3 major things we're giving away. There may be more by then, but as of now, we're giving away a Samick Sage recurve. It's actually the Lancaster Galaxy version, but it's the same bow. In your choice of poundage and right or left hand.
Mm-hmm.
We're giving away a home bow tuning kit or package or whatever it comes. We'll break it out some point in the near future. It's got levels and loop materials and all kinds of different stuff.
Yeah.
That old Mr. Ripman sent us to give away, so thank you, sir. Jeff's his first name, right?
Yeah, Jeff or Jeffrey.
Okay, couldn't remember. I was thinking Matt for a minute, but I think it's Jeff. Thank you, Jeff. And we also got KJ Karowski is sponsoring a bowstring set giveaway. So whatever bow you got, if you win it, just let us know the colors and all what you want, and we'll send it to you for free.
Yep.
And there may or may not be more stuff to give away by the time we get to the 22nd. So we'll keep ramping it up. We'll probably share some stuff around Facebook and say, hey, get on here. But it'll be, I think we said 6 o'clock on the 22nd of August, 2020, in case you're watching this later.
We still haven't figured out how we're going to do it yet. We don't know if we're going to do random.org or...
Yeah, we're trying to come up with a little bit better way, because I feel like there will probably be a decent number of people on this one instead of our usual 20 or 30. So we will have to come up with something.
Yeah.
But
we'll let you know in the coming weeks and everything.
Yeah, we got a few weeks. We got about a month and a little bit more to play with as of now.
Yeah.
So how's everybody doing? How y'all holding up? I know the corona seems to be ramping back up, and I'm gonna turn this down. Okay. The corona's kind of getting crazy again.
Yeah.
And we still got a few vendors that are behind because of that, but they've started announcing our school. I tell you what I seen archery-wise today or yesterday was IBO is supposed to have their final shoot at Seven Springs, Pennsylvania, and now Pennsylvania said, "Oop, I don't think we're going to let y'all do it." So now they're trying to scramble and find out, are they going to be able to do it? Are they going to have to move it? I think they're going to have to move it, my personal opinion, but because even the hotel, I think, has been calling people and canceling reservations. So
I read up on it, and it said that that they wasn't supposed to call the people for the archery tournament. They said that they couldn't have weddings or parties or anything like that there. But I do know they said that they had sent a message to the governor of Pennsylvania to try to get a conference call and see if they could still have it.
I think that was going to happen first of the week. So
yeah.
That's I knew that was going to happen at some point. You know, and ASA already had to cancel a shoot and move a shoot and do all this stuff. So that's still going on. I hate to keep bringing it up, but just stuff I've seen, you know.
Yeah.
I don't think we've brought this up on the podcast yet. Obsession got bought by, we may have, I don't know, by Martin a couple of weeks ago now. So we'll see how, hopefully that is a good thing for both companies. Hadn't heard anything yet of good or bad, but it'll take a few months to kind of settle out the details. I'm guessing they're going to keep making the bows in Georgia and maybe I don't know how that'll work, or maybe they'll make all of the bow parts in Georgia, and then who knows?
I don't even think they figured out if they're going to be, are they going to be 2 separate entities?
I think so.
Okay.
I think so, but who knows?
Yeah.
We've been busy, real busy.
This
is the first sit-down podcast I feel like we've done in a little bit.
Yeah.
Bows literally laying everywhere, string orders out the wazoo. We are very appreciative of it all, and it hit sooner this year. It started ramping up sooner, and it was manageable until, 2 weeks ago?
Yeah.
And then it went completely buck wild, and we've just been trying to semi stay caught up. So if you've sent it, I need to go through my emails. I know a couple people's emailed about tunes or something or another, or arrows. I can't remember what I seen, but I hadn't even looked. I need to get on there tonight and try to answer everybody.
Yeah,
But if it takes us a little bit to answer, that's probably why.
Yeah, and if you got to order with us, we are trying our best to.
We hadn't been taking. I don't think we've went over the 10-day mark on an order, except for once or twice, and I think that was Ravens.
I was gonna say we've got Ravens. I know we're getting,
but I don't. Other than the Ravens, and the Ravens, I let kind of pile up till we got a dozen or something, and I'll just spend a day doing them or whatever. But as far as regular orders, I don't think we went over that mark yet, and I don't. Hopefully, don't plan to. But the bow drop-offs, we've been telling people 2 to 3 weeks, just to make sure we got enough time to spend time with them with a bow.
No, it's just straight up 3 weeks now. I mean, before today I counted there was 12, I think.
That's not bad as I figured.
But that's not counting the ones that I haven't counted that come in.
Yeah.
So we're probably pushing. Oh, I bet you we probably got 20 bows in the shop right now to restring, retune. So it's going wild.
It is crazy how many people local have started coming in and saying, "Hey, I found y'all on YouTube," and this is crazy.
Yeah, it really is.
Pretty cool. We got some questions people sent in. We'll go old school and answer a few questions, and then chat a little bit more and leave y'all alone.
Doug wants to know, how do I prepare my bow and me for hunting season?
The main thing, and I would do it like right now, wherever you're at, look over your strings. That's the main thing, because if you need a string, most shops right now are starting to get backed up. So you don't want to be getting it back like a week before hunting season. So see if they're okay or not. And then others than that, according to if you work on your stuff at home or not. If you don't, I'd probably get it to a shop and just say, hey, can you just give this thing a work over? In other words, let them check center shot, paper tune, all that sorts of thing. And a lot of shops will do it that, if it's something that simple, I guess you want to say, they'll just go ahead and do it right then. And unless they run into something big, that's kind of what we do. If a guy comes in and is like, can you just give us a look over?
Yeah.
We'll be like, well, let's take it back here. So we'll look at like real quick, cam rotation and all that. I mean, if we see some major flag, we'll be like, if you don't mind, leave it with us. That's cool. But if we spend 15 minutes giving it the run through and it does well, then you're good to go. So I would definitely go through that part of it first. And then I'd start shooting every day in the evening when you get home from work. Fire off 2 dozen arrows at least or more. Get elevated in a stand and shoot at home, because people don't realize you get way up a tree and you're shooting at a good angle, stuff's going to change.
Yeah. And if you hunt off out of a ground blind, something like that, just pop up the chair. You ain't got to be in the blind, but just sit your chair that you're going to be using. Just sit in it, make sure you can draw your bow comfortable sitting down and everything. And, I've done it. I popped up the old pop-up blind and sat in it and shot just to get reacclimated with everything. So,
yeah, if you're using a climber or a tree saddle or whatever, start using it a couple times a week and get used to it so you don't make a mistake and fall. But mainly to shoot that bow, know what that bow's going to do, get your broadheads out. We tell people, let's say you buy a 3-pack of broadheads, at least take one. I'd spin them all. Make sure they look like they're spinning true. On an arrow spinner, you can get one for like $10, $15, whatever. But at least take one broadhead and shoot it at 30 or 40 yards or whatever your sort of max comfortable distance is, and make sure it's not hitting 3 foot to the left.
Yeah,
because that's a big problem. And I think a lot of people just buy broadheads and go hunting with them, and then they make a bad shot, and it could be that. And I've seen broadheads with like the trocar tips not on there good or whatever, and it wobbles and causes all kind of trouble. But now's the time to figure out. The next month and a half is time to figure that out. If you're going to make any changes,
now's the time to do it.
Now, yeah.
All right. William wants to know, can I use a hinge to hunt with? Yeah.
You can. I wouldn't want to, but you can. I know people that have and do. The reason I wouldn't want to is you're going to be in sort of a nervous situation. You know, you're going to be in a tree stand. It's going to be different than shooting on the ground. You know, you may have to hold the bow back a little while. If you get nervous and do the wrong thing and fire an arrow, that's not good. But if that's all you shoot and you are comfortable with the hinge,
go for it.
Do it. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, who is it?
I think Levi Morgan hunts with one.
I
I'm
do
not sure.
too.
I'm not sure, but I think somebody said that.
I think he does, and I think somebody else does. I can't remember who it is off the top of my head, but yeah, if you're used to shooting it, go for it.
And I mean, some people will be like, "It clicks. It's gonna spook a deer," and it does click. But I don't know. I guess it's according to how spooky the deer is. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It could get their attention. You could flip that moon around and make it not click. It's just up to you. I just there's too much stuff already against you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I wouldn't want to add that to where something bad, or you'd be letting it down and.
Yeah. Let's see. Jerry wants to know, can a carbon riser crack?
Have we ever seen that?
I don't think we've ever seen it in the shop. I know I haven't seen it before.
I feel like I did, but I can't even remember. Most of the time, no. I mean, it's not something we've seen, really. I feel like I had seen one crack, but I can't even remember who or when or where. It wasn't in here. The good thing about carbon, even for a tournament bow, is it's way stiffer than aluminum. People don't realize that. I wouldn't go, it's just like an arrow. I wouldn't go leaving them out in a hot car because there's resin that holds that carbon together, you know, if that starts coming apart. But I feel like either somebody I know or heard about or something had some kind of crack, but that I know we hadn't had it happen in this shop.
Mm-mm.
So I don't know. I've never seen it. So
I hadn't either. I mean, there's always that possibility, though.
Yeah, I mean, if you think you might have one, have somebody look at it or send whatever company a message with it and say, hey.
Yeah, definitely do that. Let's see here. A texter from the 854 got in and says, I want to spend $200 on upgrades to my bow. What would you change? His current bow is a Hoyt Nitrum. He's got a whisker biscuit, a 3-pin fuse sight, fuse stabilizer, and Axis arrows.
I want to spend $200.
I kind of wish this question might have come up on the live feed, but are you wanting to change just one thing, or you wanting to change a couple different things?
I'm betting he's just saying, if I wanted to spend $200, what would you do? If it was me, we got a Bubba behind us singing. Did y'all hear that?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. Tell me what you think. Would you say, all right, I'm going to blow the whole 200 on a nice, Spot Hog sight? Which, I mean, technically you'd need a little more than 200 if you want to get it. But, or would you say, I'm going to put a decent drop away and a decent 1-pin on it?
You know,
Stabilizer I'd keep, arrows I'd keep.
Yeah. You know, and really, if you're not a drop-away fan, then stick with the whisker biscuit.
There's nothing wrong with a biscuit. That's why I'm like, I might want to just upgrade the sight.
Yeah, I would probably, $200 on a sight. I mean,
like an HHA or even a Trophy Ridge, higher-end Trophy Ridge.
Yeah, or you can look in.
Or a used sight.
A used sight. You could look into some of the Excel, their hunting sights. I know a lot of them are. I think the last time I looked, that Excel AccuTouch Carbon Pro was right around $250, $275 in that price range.
You could probably find a
used one,
a used Fast Eddie for about $2.
Yeah,
they're knocking on $3 new.
Yeah, but
that's probably what I'd do, because I really, unless you just want a drop away, and then you could go with then you could. There's a bunch of options I mean, you could spend $200 on a rest.
Yeah.
But I don't feel like. I think if it was my setup, I'd want to change my sight. I mean, nothing against a fixed pin. Everybody's got so used to these single.
I agree. I'm one of them. I used to be a multi-pin fan, but
that's just like we just had a guy leave the shop. He brought in an old bow, and I think he said he was $300 or less. And he didn't have anything on the bow, so we were like, we kind of went middle to low price range on everything. You know, a biscuit. He wanted fixed pin sight. He wanted a quiver. He wanted airs and all that. He's going to end up about $250 in with all the stuff we picked out, but sort of the same scenario, but not really.
You know, and I mean, he didn't mention anything about a quiver on here, so you might,
Yeah.
you can go with a hex light quiver from Trophy Ridge or that Talon quiver from Conquest, which I really want to get one of those in for season. That way I can use it this year. But yeah, that's a hard one. $200. I would probably, like I say, I'd probably upgrade my sight because everything you got on there, nothing wrong with a biscuit. So, unless you just want to get away from a biscuit, then
I think if you're okay with a biscuit, and I am okay with a biscuit, look at some sights.
All right. We got a texter in from the 613. What's the best rest on the market? I'm assuming they're meaning hunting rest or all around rest.
I don't know. I'd pick two right now. I would pick the Vapor Trail Gen 7 or Gen 7X. It's really the same rest, just with a little bit different configurations. I'm just counting that as one. And then the Hamsky Trinity, it's like if you want the most engineered fancy tank, maybe go with the Trinity. If you want a good solid hunting rest that's just going to work, go with the
Vapor Trail.
Yeah, Vapor Trail. But I mean, that's nothing against a biscuit or a QAD. A lot of QADs still get sold, and there's, for the most part, nothing wrong with that. So, that's my two picks.
I mean, I'm a Vapor Trail guy. I'm not sponsored or anything by them.
Are you an ambassador?
No, I ain't no ambassador.
We're going to get a hold of them.
But I like their stuff. I mean, I like Hamsky stuff. It's just one of those that
Hamsky stuff's going to be a little heavier
and a little bit more on the higher end side.
But it's built like a tank.
Yeah.
But Vapor Trails is simple.
Yeah.
It's going to work.
And I mean, and this is coming from two guys that we see so much in the shop, and I mean, so many different rests are out there. It's really hard to pick what is the best one on the market because there's a bunch of good rests out there. So it's one of those, if you got a local shop, go and see what they got, put your hands on it, or if you got a local club, just talk to people at your local club or, your shop or your hunting buddies or whatnot, and just see what they're looking at or what they're running.
Yeah. Agreed.
Let's see here. Greg on Instagram asked, tips for building my own target.
There's a couple options. One, I'm gonna throw out everything I can think of, or we've tried or done. One is just to get you a Morel bag target cover. It'll run you about $25. Get the big one, and just stuff it with old clothes tight, and that'll work. Two, you can get this off Archery Talk. Somebody put plans. It's sort of what we got on the back wall back here. Y'all seen it's falling apart because we need to put a new piece of carpet on the front. But you pretty much build a box out of plywood and 2x4s. Make it about 18 inches to 24 inches deep. Leave the front open. Put real thin chicken wire, and then some carpet. Staple it down, and then pack it full of old clothes. You want to cut the buttons and the zippers and all that off so it don't mess up an arrow. But that target's been there now for 5-6 years. We do need to put that carpet on the front of it, but I mean, it's lasted.
Yeah, it's lasted 6 years at least.
The coolest that I hadn't done and wanted to do was you got to find some old carpet. And the reason I ain't done it is you got to cut. What I was going to do is cut 1,000,000 squares, 2 foot by 4 foot. You really going to have a couple hundred of them. Then you put 2 pieces of 2x4 on top, spaced out, 2 on bottom, drill you a hole, run a big 3-foot piece of all thread with a big fender washer and a nut, and then compress them all together with a ratchet. and then you can adjust how tight you need it or whatever. But you layer those carpet things, just lay them down flat, and that I've seen some neat targets built that way. I just didn't want to spend 4 hours on the concrete on my knees trying to cut all that carpet out. That was my original plan for that back wall. And then if you start shooting the middle out, you release those nuts and reorganize, take the shot out middle and move it top and bottom and put good in the middle. But I just never have built it that way.
Because they had that down there at Midlands. They had some kind of foam.
It's like an Excelsior bale of a thing.
Yeah.
I don't know where they got it or what, but that was pretty neat. Speaking of targets, who posted it? Is it Bulldog Targets? Somebody is making a identical target to these big shot targets we got. I mean, same everything, but it's a different brand.
Huh.
I need to look. I'm gonna look while we're chatting, but I meant to send it to you.
And because I know we had that question come up, but somebody is making one now. It's like 200. What was it? It was big shot. They made a big 48 by 48 something, and it was fairly cheap that we hadn't heard about.
It was
KJ?
No, it was on a live feed.
Yeah.
I can't remember.
So, okay. The next one comes in from a texter in the 436. What tools do I need to replace center serving?
You need, look at this right here. You need basically it's Bulldog.
Yeah.
It's about the same price. I don't know if one person's making it for both, but
Might be.
you need serving material, and you need a serving jig, and then it'd be nice if you had a bow press. If you don't, you might could get away with a thing they call a U-serve, which I wish I could. I'll show it to you on a live feed one night. But it's a big U thing that you kind of stick into the bowstring, and it pushes it up and out of the way of the cables. But I mean, you could for $20 to $30 get what you need. I mean, you can get on like Lancaster and get an old plastic server for $10-15, and then our favorite center serving is Angel Majesty 021, but they make cheaper stuff that works fine too. Like I mean, even your it's not really cheaper, but BCY 62XS and this, that, and the other. But that's what I'd get. Get some 021 Angel Majesty. Don't use it for anything else but center serving because it's too big, like to go around a cam or anything. But for us, it's most of the time perfect size.
Yep.
And then get you like a boning or a AAE or a whatever serving jig, and like I say, about $30, you'll be good to go. I'm sure there's videos on how to do it. I don't know, we may have done one. I don't know.
Harold on Facebook asks, my bow will paper tune without the rubber peep tubing, but gives a knock high tear when attached. Does this make any sense? I about dropped my phone.
I bet, is the peep tubing real tight? I bet it is. We don't see that much rubber peep tubing anymore, but I've seen people come in here and at full draw, their bottom of their string is straight and the top like concaves in because that rubber's pulling it so tight.
Yeah.
It's too short. That would be my guess. And if it's pulling upward, just probably causing some kind of knock high tear. I mean, according to how bad it is, but if that's the only variable that's different, it's got to be the tubing. And on another note, just get a decent set of strings and do away with that peep tubing. We take a lot of peep tubing off when it comes in because, it guarantees it's straight, but it pops people upside the head and dry rots and all kind of junk.
That's why I quit running one. I got popped in the eye one time by it, and I was like, I'm done with this.
When back at Bucks and Bass, when a lot of people were shooting peep tubing, you wouldn't believe how many. It was before like the silicone type rubber. People would come in all the time mad. That stuff dry rotted and popped me upside the head, or a deer walked out and it hit me. But yeah, that peep tubing's usually just trouble. And I mean, I understand like lower end bows, nothing against them. It don't have a decent string on it, and they don't want to have to worry about all that. And I get the reasoning behind it, but anyway.
All right. Next one comes in from a texter from the 504. Can I dip my bow at home?
Yeah. Hopefully you got the means to take it apart. You definitely need
Mm-hmm.
to take. There's certain things you want to dip and certain things you don't want to dip. So like you could dip the cams. I wouldn't because it's going to add thickness and it's going to narrow up your string track and all that. I would just dip bare riser and bare limbs, and that'd be it. Leave the cams black or whatever. They make kits. I can't remember the website. We actually got a buddy in town, Dipstick Coatings. You can Google him, and he has kits on his website. Dipstick Coatings. I think they're about $100. And ultimately, you order that kit, and it comes with the primers and the this and the that and whatever pattern you want. And you can just take a big Rubbermaid tub. And I think ideally you want to keep the water at about 80 degrees and this, that, and the other. But he's pretty much got a tutorial on how to do it. That's what they do is they sell the products for people to dip stuff with, like from $100 kit to like several $1,000s of stuff. But
I think they even sell the tanks and
yeah,
everything.
yeah.
So,
But yeah, look up Dipstick Coatings, and he's up here in Anderson, South Carolina. But you definitely could. You might want to buy some extra because it'd be easy to. I've seen him do a bunch, and I mean we've tinkered with it a little bit, but you got to be. I'd at least watch a bunch of videos on it. You got to be slow and careful, and a little screw up, and you don't want to make it look bad. So
yeah.
but yeah, you could definitely do it.
All right. And our last question comes in from a texter in a 213. Favorite quiver?
On the on the low end, I'm gonna say a quickie quiver. On the middle end, I got two. It would be the new Conquest quiver, the Talon, or the hex lights that we sell a lot of, and it's just because they've got a green light that can shine down on the arrow, and it's got a green light that can shine out the top when you're walking in and be able to see.
Mm-hmm.
And then you get into the high end stuff. I mean, the tight spots are nice if you want to
Yeah.
spend that kind of money. And I mean, a lot of people don't mind, but the tight spots they're nice. So I'm kind of with TJ. I think I'm gonna try a Talon this year from Conquest. It's just a neat mounting system. We've seen a neat demo at the shows we've been to, and
Yeah.
it's the same company as Black Eagle, so they're made local to us. They're about 2 hours down into Georgia, so
I mean, like you say, if you want just a cheap, I mean, you could even get into a little old $40 five spot by Trophy Ridge, and it's and everybody knows Quickie Quiver. I mean, they've been around forever. The hex, if I was going, I mean, tight spots are nice, but I think for around the middle of the road, and I'm either going to run a hex light or Talon, one of the two. I like both those quivers. I had the hex light last year, and I really want to try the Talon out this year. So, I can't really say. Probably as of now, the hex light is probably my favorite because I haven't got a Talon in on my bow and setup and everything yet. So right now, the hex light's mine. That would be probably my favorite quiver right now.
the the season is definitely here. So I hope, I mean, I know everybody's season opens up a little different, but roughly we're all within about a month, I think, of each other.
Yeah.
We up where we're at. We open September 15th, and then we have about a 2-week bow only season, and then muzzleloader opens. You can shoot bow or muzzleloader, and that's another about 2 weeks, and then rifle opens. You can shoot whatever is the gist of it. But I don't know. It's been a weird year. It has been a weird year.
Yes, it has. I know South Carolina DNR, I seen they posted day before yesterday, or what's day, Saturday? Yeah, day Saturday. I think it was Wednesday or Thursday they posted that they were starting to send out
I think I've seen that.
the deer tags this year. I hadn't heard anything if they changed it up the way from last year. Because I think last year was 3 buck tags and 2 doe tags, and 1 buck was a restricted, 2 unrestricted. I think. I can't remember.
It's they keep changing stuff on me. I need to figure out myself what's going on. But I've been seeing some deer in the mornings walking around, so I guess they're getting to moving a little bit. But it'll be, I don't, according to what happens with Corona, I mean, if people get back out of work, it could be a big hunting season for a lot of people.
Yeah, it could be.
Because I guess with people being at home starting in the spring, we got a lot of influx of people, so it could be crazy. But don't forget about the August 22nd. We're doing the big giveaway. I know I mentioned it when we first started, but just in case you click through or whatever, we're giving away a recurve bow. I'm not going to pre-order it because I want you to tell me what poundage you want, because I'm scared I'd order like a 45 pounder and a lady would win it and be like, I really need like a 30 pounder or 25 or whatever. So
yeah.
When we give it away, we'll look and say, all right, here's your options. Just let us know what you want. And then giving away that bow tuning or home bow tuning package thing. We'll get all that out maybe on the live feed and talk about it Thursday night. And then KJ sponsored the string set giveaway, so you can just tell us what bow you need one for, what colors you want, all that. We'll get it made and shipped out to you. So August 22nd, 6 p.m. I'm looking forward to that. We'll try to get everybody to like tell everybody, and we'll share it around Facebook and that type of thing, and we'll probably chat for 30 minutes or better, and then do it. And like TJ said, normally we just tell people to pick a number, but if we got a pretty good number of people, it may be easier to do something different, but we'll figure it out.
I don't know. We're going to have to figure that one out.
And if you're I've had people ask this, I meant to talk about this before. If you watch us on YouTube, but you don't have like a Gmail or Google account and you want to get in on a drawing, you definitely need to start one, because that's how, like when people pop into our chat on YouTube when we're live, pretty much if you got a Gmail account, that's what your YouTube name will be. That's how you get. I've had people email me and I forgot to mention it, and they said I get on there, but I'm not sure how to comment. You got to have that. You got to have an account. So that's not an account with us or anything. It's just because YouTube's owned by Google, and that's how that works. So make you an account, get that figured out by then. And then you can chat with us and get in on these drawings and all that stuff. And I've seen some people that I knew were watching that have popped up with an account recently, so I guess they figured it out.
Yep.
But I guess we'll be back Thursday night with our live feed. I think y'all let us know. The Thursday nights, I've been liking us working on bows, and it's good because it don't slow us down a whole lot. We can still get a couple more bows done that night, and we can bring y'all with us and kind of chit chat. And then we're really still kind of trying to figure out what to do with this whole podcast Tech Thursday, another video a week thing. I don't know whether to go live on Saturday evenings. I want to change it after the 1 year mark. Should we start going live on Saturday evenings? But I think a lot of people are out and about on Saturday evenings, so I don't know if that's good. But live on Saturday evenings for the podcast, and it just be us sitting here talking and answering questions, and then do the Thursday night thing live still, but working on bows. I mean, that would work.
Yeah.
And then occasionally throw out another video, or I don't know. Y'all let us know what you think.
Yep.
Because we'll do whatever.
That's right.
That's all I got.
Me too. I can't think of nothing else. When is Bowfest and OPA?
It's coming up. Let me look.
Is it still a couple weeks out?
Yeah.
Okay. I hadn't seen. All I seen was something about it. As far as I know, they're still having it.
Yeah, I looked. I looked on one of the live feeds, July 23rd through 26th. So was that 2 more weekends? One more weekend, something. One more weekend.
Yeah.
So we'll update y'all on that. We'll try to keep up with what's going on with IBO.
Yeah.
And
I'm sure Bow Junkie's gonna cover that one.
Yeah.
Bowfest and OPA.
They will.
So I'm sure they'll have a live shoot down feed.
That'd be good. It'd be nice if that kind of blew up and was a big ordeal. You know what I mean? There needs to be more big archery stuff, but.
Well, the TAC, it just started out as something out west, and it finally started moving east a little bit, and I think they're gaining more ground, so I hope they put maybe 1 or 2 more, maybe go a little bit south.
Yep. that, and with John Dudley getting involved, I know he was personally going to several of them and giving away stuff. So,
well, you know, was it him and Cameron Haynes? I know he's got his own knock-on course,
yeah.
but and they say that sun gun sells out within a minute or two.
Yep.
So,
but we'll let y'all. We'll look it up and update y'all on everything going on as best we can.
Yeah.
We've had a lot of people asking about the Ranch Fairy tunes, and we've done some now, and it works great. I still hadn't done a video on one because we've just been so busy, but we will have a video at some point. I think we need some time, which is not something we got right now. But
Yeah.
I'd love to make a video explaining in our terms the whole process, because like when we first started hearing about it and kind of seeing what he was doing, it was just sort of sporadic. To me, it was. On watching this, that, and the other of his, trying to figure out exactly what he's doing different and all that stuff. But, I mean, we figured out it's ultimately a bear shaft tune, but he calls them adult eras. But it's shooting, a lot of weight up front and making a heavy air and a good bit of front of center and all that stuff, which is great. I'm looking forward to doing more of that because for years it's been I want speed. Now people are wanting heavy. So that's a nice change. And people are watching him.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's fine. We like I said, we've done some of them. It's worked out great. I'd like to make a nice video, explainer video, or us doing one or whatever, just to show the whole deal. And also, a couple people's asked about our broadhead testing. That's still on we want to do it. We just haven't got time.
Yeah.
I need to sit down with TJ. We need to think up. I mean, I kind of know what I want to do. I've talked about it on here before. I want a deflection test with like a piece of plywood. Excuse me.
Steel drum,
and a penetration test through those pieces of like masonite or whatever.
Yeah.
That'd be the main thing. And possibly ballistic gel. I've looked up the whole how to make ballistic gel, but it's just that would be a huge pain in the butt to do one broadhead. So I don't know if we'll go that far or not, but just what we talked about would be neat. And I need to look on YouTube and see what other people have done. Still, I think Perry or somebody told us to look, but the sharpness test, we need a good way to measure that.
Yeah.
And then
I think Perry did. I think he sent a link in one of the podcasts.
Yeah. But then as we get a new broadhead in, we can just say, all right, here's a 10-minute video and go out there and blast it and say, here's how it did.
Yeah.
And kind of go through the whole, make sure it's spinning true. Don't make sure there's no variable that would cause it to not work right.
Mm-hmm.
Get it spinning true, same bow, same poundage, same everything, just every time, and then let her eat. So anyway, we'll get off here and leave y'all alone. We'll be back Thursday night, and can't wait till August 22nd.
Yep.
So y'all have a good one. Stay safe. See y'all next time.
See ya.